Who's going to have the pits? And Harvey pits in the pits. And Will Power takes the lead at Indianapolis with 4 laps to go.
You're being a leader, my man.
Checker flag. Power and Penske win it.
No way. Yeah! Hell of a job there, big guy. Good job, number 12. Can't believe it, man. I cannot believe it. Yes! Yes!
He'll never be introduced the same way again. From now on, it'll be Will Power, Indianapolis 500 winner for 2018.
Will Power already had an impressive resume before he won last year's Indy 500, but as he knows, a victory at the Brickyard takes you to a whole nother level. On March 10th, the 37-year-old from Australia starts his drive for a second IndyCar Series title here on NBCSN. And this May on NBC, in only 94 days, he'll be thirsty for milk at Indy once again. Will Power joining us here in our studio live today. When you look back on that, those images, I mean, you can't help but smile. Is it watching your wife's reaction, your reaction in the winner's circle? Take us back.
I mean, everything about it, you know, like it was my 11th year. So I remember thinking that month, man, I may finish my career without winning a 500. So that was really playing on me. So everything that went with winning that race, it's just so much. There's like even anger in there. You see, I actually get a bit angry, like I lost. But it was just cool for me, my wife. You know, we talked about it a lot. I had my son there. Yeah, just an amazing experience, and really took a massive load off my shoulders. Like I feel just lighter and can just focus on winning races and go to the 500 relax. Like usually you spend the whole month tense there if you haven't won it before. I'm sure I will be because it's an intense month, but just cool. Everything that's gone with it, absolutely have enjoyed it, and yeah, can't wait to get back there.
Yeah, I like to see Will one time at a racetrack not tense.
I was calm that month. Like it was strange for me. I was actually really relaxed. I was relaxed on race day, which I remember when we raced together there. We were lying in the garage just like, oh, man, I wish we could just have a button that puts you right in the car and the race starts, because it's just the nerves really suck. I mean, you know, you spend so much time there building up for this race. You're there pretty much the whole month if you include the road course race, and there's so much media attention. And
I was going to say, we don't help, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's big.
Is there a part of this that's, you know, that it's an oval? You know, ovals were kind of new to you when you came up with the IndyCar Series.
Yeah.
Maybe a struggle for a little bit, and here's the biggest race of the IndyCar Series is an oval. Is that some of the accomplishment of winning it? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it took me a while to get used to ovals. Obviously, I didn't enjoy the formula of ovals when I first came to IndyCar, because we were just running wide open on the white. You know, you would sit on the white line. You'd be on the bottom of the track and never lifting. But IndyCar has reduced the downforce. There's a lot more driving in it, and I have just gained experience. But yes, winning on the biggest oval, super speedway, and I've become a really good super speedway driver. Yeah, played into everything that went in. You know, the emotion into winning that race.
Yeah, I mean, we joke around about, you know, us both being tense. I mean, we've always been hard on ourselves as drivers. You know, we kind of fed off that as teammates.
Yeah.
But now winning, and you've won a championship, but, you know, in the IndyCar Series, winning the Indy 500, it just takes it to a whole new level. So do you view yourself different now as a race car driver, finally getting that off your back and having what's the biggest accomplishment in the sport kind of on your shelf now?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'm approaching the season the same. It's just, like I said, it's a big stress off me, especially driving for Penske. You know, that race, obviously Rogers won way more than anyone else, and they put a lot of emphasis on that race. So just within the team, you're a little bit more relaxed. But I'm like you. I'm kind of hard on myself. So the same intensity going into the season. I wouldn't say I would view myself any different. I still want to win. Like, you still have that desire. I mean, it's not the cars that I love driving, it's the competition. I just love competing, and I love competing on a level playing field where everyone's got the same car, same tyre, very similar. You know, the engines are pretty much the same, and and you're competing against the best guys, and that's the enjoyment of racing for me. It's not, you know, when you're young, you love the cars. Like, it's so awesome to be driving a car with all this horsepower. But for me now, it's just competing. I love to compete.
And speaking of competing, I noticed on our stats there, and I know this about you for a while, you have 54 career poles, second of all time. What is it about qualifying with you? I mean, you are a qualifying master. I don't want to know, just personally as a driver, like, what do you do? What do you do to get ready for qualifying, and why are you so good at finding that one really fast lap?
You know, it's just a whole process over the weekend. You think about in practice and everything, and all the data analysis that we do in IndyCar now, and you have dartfish, and like, I think it's just putting all those pieces together, and then when it comes to doing the lap is actually executing. It's you know, especially on a road course, even little misshifts or anything like that costs you like a half a tenth, or if it's at the start of the straight, you may lose more. I mean, it's just very little details, and then just nailing it at the right time.
Do you know sometimes when you're on one of those pole laps? Do you you're in, you know, we talk about athletes are in the zone or whatever. I mean, do you have like a sense like, this is it, this is the lap?
Yeah, sometimes you just nail a lap and it's like this, like you would be amazed if someone beat that. And when they do, you're really upset, especially if it's your teammate. The same car, you're like, ah. But yeah, I mean, it is about getting in the zone. It's all those things, you know, obviously very mental, and in the IndyCar, it's very physical. Like, you reach max heart rate on a qualifying run. You jump in those things. I mean, it's so heavy in the wheel and the G-force, and you need to put a lot of energy into it. It's not like fingertip driving. You really grab the car and manhandle it.
Yeah, he's one of the best at it, believe me. I saw it up close and personal. I was like, what the heck? I mean, you feel like I'd be close, and all of a sudden in qualifying, he'd go in and just take that next leap, and it was always impressive. But with that said, obviously winning the Indy 500 was a huge accomplishment, great for a year, but you had an up and down year. It seemed like, especially in the middle stretch of your season, you were either winning races or you were DNFing. So over the offseason, what have you and your team really focused on to obviously keep that speed, but really work on the consistency to go try to win another championship?
Yeah, I mean, just reviewing the championship, it was very disappointing not to be a contender at the end of the year. I mean, you know, our qualifying average was like 2.2. It's like, so we're always starting at the front. You know, I think we had 3 mechanicals. I made a mistake or 2. And yeah, I mean, we should have been there. It's kind of hard to pick one thing out of all that. Like, the mechanicals were all something different. You know, just a mistake or 2 by me that I've obviously reviewed myself and look at the situation and think, well, yeah, I probably should have done this differently. But we just need a consistent year to put together. Like, we should have been there at the end, and we weren't. When you look at Dixon's run, you know, Scott Dixon was just, man, flat. Like, he was in the top 5 every race, even his worst days where he's kind of almost a lap down on the first lap, crashing at Portland. We're like, well, at last he's going to have a bad day, and he comes back and beats all the competition. You're like, what? Yeah. So you know how it flows. Oh, yeah. Ebbs and flows in racing. You get some good luck and bad luck, and hopefully this year plays out smoothly.
Do you have drivers? I know when drivers are all with each other, I mean, who really impress you? Drivers who sort of set the bar for you, you know, whether it's now or earlier in your career?
Yeah, I mean, they're all. Whenever you come into a new series, you know, when I joined Champ Car, you had AJ there, you had Justin Wilson, you had Bourdais, you know, and you're always looking at who's setting the bar. So whoever that is, you're watching what they're doing. You're trying to understand what's making them fast. You know, what are they doing off the track that's helping them? Anything that you can find out about these guys. You're trying to understand, and you know, throughout my whole career, it's been in every series. You've just looked at the guy at the time and what he's doing, and that's how you build your toolbox of stuff that makes you go fast. You know, physically, mentally, everything.
Was it always a dream of yours to race an IndyCar? I know you and I were talking earlier about you tested an F1 car, you're racing Europe. I mean, what was the transition like coming over here, and was it was it always a dream to get to this level? I mean, what was it for you?
It was always a dream to be a race car driver in an open wheel car, but it was Formula One. Like, all my heroes as a child were, it was Prost, Mansell, Senna. It was that era of drivers that I just absolutely loved. I loved the cars. I was aware of Indianapolis, like the Indy 500 and Indy cars, and I'd heard interviews from Formula One drivers who tried that out and said, this is too crazy for me. It's way too fast. You're insane. And that's my impression the first time I drove around there. I was like, this is insane. What are we doing?
It's still insane.
It is insane. Everything's slowed up a little bit. But yeah, I Formula One was the goal. Like I spent time in Europe. I really tried to get there, but it's just, man, you got to be the right place at the right time, or you got to be picked up by Red Bull or one of those manufacturers and get the right opportunities in the junior categories to make it. So I had an offer to come over and race here and be paid in IndyCar. At that point, you know what it's like.
That's big.
You're paying when you're in Europe. You're paying, having to find sponsors. You're paying, and it's tough. So at some point, you got to be a professional and earn some money.
Yep.
So I came over here, and that's where it started.
And just, I've heard you talk a lot about, you were mentioning you like competition, the competitiveness of this. How competitive is IndyCar? It looks, you have a 2.2 qualifying average last year, and you're not even in the fight for the championship the last race. It's incredibly competitive. Is that the feeling that's what I get from the outside? Is that the feeling on the inside?
It is, and it's ramped up. From 2010 to now, it is so competitive because there's no bad teams really anymore, and there's no bad drivers. There was a while there where you had some of the guys at the very back that were just paying to be there, and they were below average. They're kind of almost dangerous. But now there's not a guy that you would pick out of there that you would say, he'll never win a race. So the competition's very tough, and the team's standard is very high. And it's super competitive. It's tough because you've got to be good on multiple disciplines. No oval's the same that we race on. You got the short ovals, super speedways, super bumpy street courses, road courses, and you've got to be able to nail them all. So it's tough to be a champion, and that's why there's, Dixon, of course, he's won 5.
You guys know this. Joseph is pumped, meaning the IndyCar team better get it right, especially since we're talking the Indy 500.
Come on.
Look at that face on Joseph and on Power. You guys have got to get this. Seriously, how are the IndyCar guys not getting the Indy 500?
Time. Indy 500. Let's get it straight.
Yes, indeed. We are so glad Power got this. But it would have been way better if he made this face again. For the record, this was shot months before Power won the 500, which is pretty cool.
Back with the 2014 IndyCar champion, Will Power. And the Penske games, which you saw a taste of right there, those have kind of become a viral hit, you and your teammates within the Penske organization.
Yes, they have, and they've become very competitive. You try to get inside information from the PR staff, like what are the tasks going to be? What's the competition going to be? They never give anything up. Yeah. But yes, Brad Keselowski is definitely a big cheat.
No way.
It'll be lunchtime. He'll be over there for the next Penske games. He'll be practicing, and they have to continue to yell at him, Brad, stop practicing. No one's meant to know what's going on. Yeah, but Brad, he's always in there.
You learn a little bit about everybody.
Yes, you do, actually. You do in that tough competition.
That's kind of how he races, too.
Really?
So he's looking
Oh,
for
is he? Yeah. Well, that's why he won a championship.
I just realized I'm the only one here who hasn't been employed by Roger Penske. You guys have all driven for the captain.
True.
Yes, that's true.
There's no chance.
He might be hiring
I
you
know
guys.
he's driving for Roger.
Just saying.
No,
Yeah,
he's
never
not.
know.
I'm not. I'm no. Not a good driver. I'm not a bad driver. I don't want to say that. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not you guys. So.
Well.
So I kind of teased the fact that we talked a lot about racing. Do you guys have some questions for Will off track?
Well, I've seen it before, and it's interesting because you almost seem like you get into it more than you do driving sometimes, but you love being a drummer.
I do.
We've seen it. I've seen it at least at Indianapolis. You did it at a party, right? You were drumming for a band somewhere. You're here at the Pacers game, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get into it. So when did that start? What got you into it? I mean,
It was actually when I was unemployed.
okay.
Well, it was when I in 2009, I was only a part-time driver, and I got
right here,
I got the
downtown
chance.
Indy.
Yeah, look at that. I remember that. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I was way off beat, but with all the other drummers, they kind of covered for me, so it was all right. I looked good. But yeah, I started in 09. The data engineer from the year before, the team I drove for was a drum teacher, and I'd just annoying him hanging out at his house because I didn't have anything to do, and that's when I started drumming.
So you're not in a band. There's no like
I'm
IndyCar
not.
drivers band. You remember
I'm not.
the Champ Car band back in the day, like Vassar and everyone? They're not bringing that back. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, well, so you're not in IndyCar.
I would
band.
like to be in a band, but I just don't have time.
No one's
I would
hired you
love
yet?
to.
What
Yeah,
band?
for some reason.
What band you want to go to? What's the ultimate rock and roll band?
Yeah, it's got to be like Foo Fighters. Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hang out with Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Well, if you're hanging out, wouldn't you
That's
take his
royalty
job?
there.
Wouldn't you be stealing his job if
Yeah.
No, he's the lead singer.
you? Okay.
Yeah, he does
All right.
do drums
Okay.
sometimes, but he was a drummer for
Oh, I
Nirvana.
got you.
So
All right, there you go.
yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
You know, one thing I've noticed about you in your off-track time is your use of Instagram. Especially in your stories, you like to put all of your like team members in very awkward situations.
yeah,
Is
one
this
of
like
my
your
favorite-
style or?
It is definitely my style. I'm
Okay.
like AJ knows I can be quite awkward, but deliberately.
So you're trying to
Deliberately.
make your teammates feel awkward.
Yes.
Is the goal.
And the
Yeah.
crew members, and his engineers.
Anyone.
I mean, was your dating
Like I could
partner?
make everyone real awkward right now and pull this phone out and do a story.
And everyone just
Yeah.
He will literally stare at you for just stare at you like we'd be sitting in in our tents and you just be like just staring at me. I'm like, what's his problem? Like
It's just
that's
intimidation.
When
Yeah.
you start
teammate.
out, like when you always
yeah.
like
This is why he kept on qualifying you.
that's true.
That's intimidation.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
who of your teammates feels the most awkward? Like who can you really mess with the most? Do you feel like?
Man, they all know me so well, it's really hard
Hard
now.
now.
They just understand what I'm doing. It's usually when someone turns up new, is they're like, what's up with Will?
It's really
It's
weird.
strange. But it's, just playing around, having fun.
So with teammates, is it an intimidation tactic as well? You know, you always got to beat your teammate a little bit, sort of thing.
No, it's just having fun. I just like to just joke around, have fun. That's why I didn't do well in school, I think. And that's the thing. Newgarden turns up, and I've got a guy that plays off me real well. So the engineering office, not as much work's getting done. We're just screwing around all the time.
When it comes to the NASCAR, a lot of people may not know this. NASCAR fans, you live here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're close to the Penske shop, but do you hang out with like the NASCAR guys at all? Like, is going to dinner with Brad or Joey? I mean, a normal thing?
No, actually, I haven't spent much. I played golf with AJ when he was on the team. That was an experience, let me tell you. He's a good teacher, though. Like, I actually had some better shots than him, and he was quite angry about it. Like, believe me, he killed me.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like qualifying. Like, yeah, you destroyed me, but he's very passionate about his golf. He's like, he can get quite emotional if it doesn't go in.
Yeah,
Back to
yeah.
competitive nature of both of you.
I don't know I don't know what to really say about that. We'll go with passionate.
It's
That
not
seems-
quite the
Yeah.
calming
Yeah.
thing it's supposed to be for you.
So you're not out playing golf with Brad or Joey?
Look, it just takes too much time to play golf.
Yeah.
And the teammates, I mean, I hang out, I just never see those guys. Like, I don't see them at shop. We're all so busy during the season, it's very difficult. The only time we catch up is at the Penske games. And then we're all like fighting each other.
And you haven't tried to sneak one of those stock cars out the back and take it for a
Let me
spin?
tell you, man, I want to have a go at one of those. Not on a road course, on an oval. I really would love to feel what it is like in a NASCAR. I mean, that would be really cool. I'd love to do a race. I would love to. So if Roger's watching
I'm
this,
gonna throw it out there, Mr. Penske. Will at Bristol. What do we think?
We know he'll qualify well.
Yeah.
Roger watches this show every day.
Yeah.
So Roger.
You heard it here.
go.
Roger
me out.
Penske.
All right, let's
Show
see
he
what can
watches.
come of that.
Hey NASCAR fans, thanks for checking out the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe below for the latest NASCAR news, race highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.